Hey everybody, welcome back. So I know what you're asking yourselves. Chuck, what is that great big mess all over your desk? Well, this mess you're seeing all over my desk is all the stuff that I've collected, made, or not all. I mean, this is not all of it by any means, but this is the stuff over the years, the cameras, the tripods, the monopods, the head mounts, the desk mounts, all the stuff, the magic arms, all the stuff, or a lot of it anyway, that I've collected over the years to try and make YouTube videos. No, the webcams aren't here. The camera arm that I designed and made myself isn't here because I broke it so many times I got tired of repairing it. And there's a number of other things that I have bought, monopods and selfie sticks that I've bought and have broken, or they turned out to be junk and I've just given away. It's a never ending battle trying to get a camera in a position to get the shot you want and get it focused. Now, it's one thing when I'm out and about and I'm using the action camera. Action cameras are a known quantity. I always know what I'm going to get, and it's always going to be mediocre. And, a lot of times that's perfectly fine. Even a 4K action camera, the focus is never going to be perfect. The lighting is never going to be perfect, but you know what you're going to get. With a camera like this, sometimes it's really, really fabulous, and other times it's so out of focus or the lighting is so bad that you can't even fix it in post. It's so awful. But I really am still struggling to figure out how to get sorry, I'm shaking a bit too much caffeine again. I am always trying to figure out how to get that shot that I want, especially the studio shot, even if it's in the garage on a product. And I've always wanted a camera jib arm, either one mounted on a tripod or one that comes with its own mount. Now, I've looked at them new. Even the small ones made by companies like New Weir, when you can find them in stock someplace, are usually $300-400. I never see those used. When I do, they're as much as they are brand new. And the professional ones are huge. There's no way I could use something, that stands 8 foot tall and has a 10-foot camera reach. Even if I could afford it, I have no place for it. So there was something I found over on my mini factory, and let's pop over there now and I will show it to you because I think it might be the solution that I'm looking for. So this is the design that I found that I think I'm going to print. This is by Mechanistic over on my mini factory, who has made a lot of really cool, complex, intentionally overly complex things. This is not one of those intentionally over complex designs, but he has a bunch of different designs, and they're all worth looking at. I've taken so long to do this. I've known about this design for a couple of years, and I've taken so long to do it because I didn't want to take the time to print and assemble and gather all the hardware for this. Plus, I thought I was going to design my own, which I never have. So I am now going to make a move and print this. This is $39 over at my mini factory. There is a summer sale going right now, so you can pick it up, this design up, for $24. And considering the amount of time and effort he's put into this, I would consider it to be well worth it. We can see the design here. It is a complete package. It is everything you need except the camera. And it is really, really nice. So he really has thought of everything in this, and here are some of the other designs he shows off in this. And so this is everything that I would think that I probably need. It's just about the right size. If I remember right, I saw that somebody else has designed a tripod mount for this that leaves this bottom piece out and the top piece just mounts on a tripod. But I'm probably going to wind up making that too. So this, I think, is going to be perfect for me. So let's take a look at the package that you get when you download it. So when you buy the design, you get a download, and this is the contents of the zip file that you download. Now, there's a separate folder for Mac OS. For the rest of us that are on Windows or Linux, it's this stuff down here. He gives you 3 MF files, a step file which I haven't really looked at yet, and STL files. It's nice to get 3MFs because his settings should be in those, and you can see there's 14 items. Now the design actually says there are 18 items when you look at it, but there may be multiples in these 3MF files. I admit I have not looked at every one of them. Here's the pivot base. Let's take a look at that. That's going to open an Orca slicer, and you're going to have to forgive me. I am using a ultra widescreen monitor, so it's a bit of a learning to get this all into a monitor that will stream and look properly for a YouTube video, but I think I'm figuring it out here. So this should have all his settings. Now I'll tell you right now, he uses a 0.6 nozzle for all of this stuff, and everything is designed to fit in the size of an Ender 3 bed. So you see all his print settings he has. I'm hoping these are all his print settings, but that's usually what a 3MF file is for, so you get the arrangement, the settings, and everything. So, and you see I'm set for a 0.6 nozzle because that is what I like to use. He has a bunch of STL files, and you can see he's got a bunch of loose STL files here, but he also has some grouped in folders. He has an Excel spreadsheet here where he shows the quantity of each part and the print settings that he used or he thinks you should use. And then he has a set of instructions. And micro jib, he shows the whole thing, and this is 47 pages long. So he really went out of his way. He explains why he designed this, who he is, why he designed it. And here is the design overview, dimensions and specs, how to configure the camera on it, things like that. Now he tells you here the amount of tools you need. He shows you the amount of hardware, and there is a lot of hardware involved in this. I mean, this one, 31 nuts, 27 nuts. I'm betting there's probably at least $50 worth of nuts and bolts and screws and all that kind of stuff. 200 by 200 millimeter print bed. He says a nozzle diameter of 0.6, which is what I like to use, and PLA and PETG. And I think somewhere along the line here he said it requires 2.8 kilograms of filament. So it's going to take 3 spools of filament to build this. He talks about the pin lengths, how to cut the pins. I have all the tools I need. I'm not worried about cutting the pins. Now here he says that critical assembly items are in this color, critical print items are in this color. Now one of the things he's done is he's given a 0 size part, and then he's given 2 undersized and 2 oversizes of these critical parts, which is pretty cool. But even cooler, he's given you a fitment jig, a little part that you can use that prints real quick and doesn't take much filament, that allows you to test and tell whether you need an undersized or an oversized part. So that is really handy if you're going to do this. I highly recommend you read the instructions. I know I hate reading instructions too, trust me, you know, but in this case I think it's really a wise idea to try and read and understand the instructions. Here's a complete printed parts list and the print settings he recommends. Now he says the 3MF files were sliced in Cura. I don't know that I am going to use those. They do open okay in Orca Slicer. I haven't seen a problem with them. He says it's about 94 hours of printing. I don't know what he printed it on. I haven't read that yet. So if he's printing this on something like an Ender 3 and I'm printing it on a Flash Forge A5M, I expect that 94 hours of print time to at least cut in half. Then he goes through the full assembly procedure of it. So I am going to be looking at this, and I'm going to be trying to, if he tells me in here, I am going to be trying to determine what is going to be the correct order to print all this in, to make sure you get the correct sizes. Final assembly. So, I mean, this guy, he really, and then pictures of it being done. So he really went the whole 9 yards in getting this done. And I would recommend, if you're interested in something like this, pick it up while it's on sale. Okay, I am going to start with the feet. I don't know if you can see it over here. Base feet, quantity required 3, print time 4 hours and 3 minutes. PLA or PETG, material weight 110 grams. He calls for a layer height of 0.3. outer wall perimeters of 3, infill 30%, and no support. And that's what I have here. Although, and you can see 112 grams, he says 110. And you see my print time is 1 hour and 48 minutes. So I'm suspecting from the fact that he says he likes Prusament filament, that he's probably using a Prusa Mark III, and that was its print time. But this is a Flash Forge, and that is good A5M, and that's going to be its print time. So that 94 hours of printing is probably going to be closer to 40 for me. Still a lot, and of course the filament's going to be the same. Let's go over to the printer using my Flash Forge A5M. Using Elegoo Rapid PLA Plus. I'm a big believer in PLA Plus over standard PLA. I know a lot of you don't think that, but I do. So I am going to send this along. The parts he are calling for in PETG. You can see most of these he calls for PLA or PETG. Some of these he definitely calls for PETG only. But we'll see how we go. I want to see what they are and how they print too. But I'm going to send these now, print, and upload and print. And we are going to start, and I will bring you back when these are done. Okay, the 3 feet are done, and I don't know if you can read that. Took 1 hour and 41 minutes, which is just about exact what Orca Slicer said it was going to take. And while that was printing, I came to his list here and I used his links, and he did give links for both Amazon and AliExpress for these. And I've got all the threaded parts in, because this is the stuff that's going to cost me an arm and a leg down at my local hardware store. All the threaded stuff in those pins comes to 36 bucks. I did not order the skate bearing because I got a gazillion of those, and I am pretty sure those are just skate bearings. Let's take a look. Oh no, they're not skate bearings, are they? Okay, I'll have to add those in. I'm gonna add it to my cart. I did not order the 700 millimeter smooth rod because I figure there's no way that's going to arrive from China without being twisted into a pretzel. The steel balls as weights I did not order. I've got lots of stuff I can use as weight, and I did not order the smartphone holder because I already have multiple smartphone holders, so I did not need that. And I didn't order the 1/4 screw because I got a barrel full of 1/4 screws. All right, that's going to bump my price up to 40 bucks for that. Anyway, now that the feet are printed, I've got this printed in Orca Slicer. Let's get rid of that. And so these lower pieces, or these lower upper structural leg pieces, whatever, I forget what he called them, I can only get one on at a time, and I need 3. And if we come into the preview, and he uses all the same settings for these, and I'm going to print them out of the PLA again, they're going to take 1 hour and 46 minutes each, and I need 3 of them. This is where I'm at after printing the 3 feet, the 3 side pieces, and this piece in here, which is called the lower core. I know it's probably kind of hard to see because it's black. That part is called the lower core. These pieces all use the same print settings, and like I said, I had to print the big pieces one at a time, and that's fine. And these all printed in slightly less than half the time. I'd say about 40% of the time that the author said they would take, and he was quoting a 60 to 80 millimeter per second print speed, and of course the Flash Forge A5M is considerably faster than that. And I probably could have made it go even faster, but I'm really happy with the way they came out. So, to go on, I need the bearings. Because the next 2 pieces I want to print, and there are other pieces I could print, but I'd like to kind of print it in the order of building up. The next 2 pieces I want to print are called the middle core and the upper core. And to get those the correct size, you need the bearings, and I don't have the bearings yet. I should have ordered them. If I had realized that, I would have gone ahead and ordered them from Amazon and paid the extra 4 or 5 bucks than they were from AliExpress. But I didn't realize that then. So what you need those for is because those 2 middle pieces, or the middle and the upper, to get the proper size, you have to print his little test pieces, test the bearing in them. And when you know whether the 0 part or the -1 or +1 part is the one that fits the best, then you can go ahead and print those without wasting a bunch of filament printing the entire part, and it's wrong. So brilliant idea. I really like that. His attention to detail is incredible. I'm glad I decided to buy his design instead of designing one of these for myself. I could have done this, but I could never have done the attention to detail he did. Unfortunately, that just isn't in me. Anyway, I'm going to stop this video here, and I'm doing that for a couple reasons. One is I might not have the bearings and all the rest of the fasteners for a couple of weeks. You guys know AliExpress. And the sale on my mini factory ends in less than 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. I'll put a link to everything below. If you have any slight interest in this, I'd go buy his design now. It really is incredible. And yeah, we'll come back, and whether I'll come back and with videos building it up, I don't know, or whether I'll just wait till I'm done and do it all at once, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Go over there and buy that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.